Hi everybody, me again. Today is Thursday, March 26th, or I think it is. It's hard to keep track of dates these days. But whatever day it is, I'm definitely overdue to provide you with an update on our course, Human Resources. So I apologize that it's taken me so long to get back to you. But what I'd like to do today is run through what the rest of the semester is going to look like for us, and also to provide you with a bit of information on some new content on our course shell that you should be aware of. So without further ado, let's take a look at our semester recovery plan, which is far more dramatic than it actually sounds far more dramatic than it is, but let's walk you through this and how things are going to look over the upcoming 3 weeks. So first, the assessments and evaluations in our course, also known as tests and assignments. I'd like to give you a brief update. Test number 2, you wrote it this week. Everyone has completed it for the most part. I did receive some feedback that some people ran out of time or had some issues. I will be looking at the test results carefully. I'll take a look at what happened. I'm more than happy to make adjustments if needed, if it looks like the whole group had the same problems. So if you did have problems, let me know. And if you have any feedback on the type of the test or the types of questions or whether they seemed unfair or unrealistic, please feel free to send me an email. It's your shift. That is ongoing. We talked about it in several weeks prior to the break in the semester. It is scheduled to be due for Friday, April 3rd, and I'd like to keep that date set as it is. I don't want to delay it anymore because it's something easy that you can be working on right now, and if we push it back until the end of the semester, then you're going to have even more due at the end. So as a reminder, watch those It's Your Shift video modules. Take a screenshot of all 5 completion screens for each module and put them in Dropbox. If you do that for each of the 5 modules, you get 10%. Any technical problems or difficulties or questions, let me know. We were scheduled to have an in-class activity take place in week 11. Week 13. In any case, that obviously is not going to happen because we are not in class. That 5% activity has been canceled, and it has been replaced with something else, which I will talk about in a minute. Our HR in the News assignment is going to undergo the biggest change. And it applies to people who have not presented yet, but it also applies to people who have presented, and because they're going to be now participating in a discussion board format. Everybody's going to. So here's what's going to happen. If you have your HR in the News presentation scheduled for week 11, week 12, or week 13, you're going to prepare your slides, prepare the presentation in slide format, make sure you include your article and a link to your news story, and you're going to put those slides in Dropbox. That's very similar to what you would have had to do anyway, just maybe make the slides a little bit more detailed than you would have, than if you had been doing an in-person presentation. I have much more information on the changes to this assignment, which I'll show you in a minute. Once you submit those to Dropbox, I am going to take those slides and I'm going to post them in a discussion forum on eCentennial, where the whole class can take a look at your presentation and learn from what you've learned about your article or your news story. Once I share your presentation with the class, your classmates are expected to engage in a discussion forum, to ask you questions, to make comments about your presentation, and your expectation as the presenters of the topic is to answer those questions and respond to the comments in the discussion forum. For the people who have the presentations, that's the 3 or 4 groups who are remaining to present, they will receive marks as part of their grading rubric for their participation in the discussion board. Everybody else in the class will also be eligible to earn 5%. This replaces the in-class activity 5% for participating in the discussion forums, for asking thoughtful questions, for making thoughtful comments, and for contributing to those discussions. If you do that, you can earn 5%, again, which will replace the in-class activity. And that's the only change, really. We still have test number 3 worth 20%. That is coming up online in week 14, and we will talk more about that in a couple of weeks. And I'll give you more information on the format and what that's going to look like once I figure that out myself. The next thing I would like to talk about is our class schedule, or lack of a class schedule, I guess might be a better way to describe it. All our course learning materials, all our online lessons will be delivered through eCentennial. Each week, it will look very similar to how it looked in the past, with the way the course shell is arranged. Each week we'll have a module, and then there will be material in that module based on each week's topic. And that will be posted in the content section the same as it always has been. I'll show you in a minute. You can access this content at any time during the week. As soon as I post it, it will remain available for the rest of the semester. It's not going to disappear. And that also means that you don't actually need to be online during our scheduled class time. You can review this content in the middle of the night. You can do it bit by bit. You can do it whenever you have time. Although I think you should have lots of time on your hands if you're like me these days. During our scheduled class time, I will be available live via the eCentennial virtual classroom for 1 hour of our class time. And I will send out a link to that. So basically, you will just click the link. It will take you to an online platform kind of like this, but it will be live and not recorded. And you can ask me questions. You can ask me to review some of the things in the course content. You can do whatever you want. I will be there live online for 1 hour during our scheduled class time each week. Of course, there's other ways that you can reach out to me too, and we'll talk about those in a second. So, how do you ensure that you remain successful this semester? It's a weird situation, and it can be really difficult to find the motivation to do online schoolwork, especially when there's so much other stuff and stress going on. I suggest that you schedule a regular time each week to work on each course. You already have this time built into your timetable, so why not use your scheduled class time to work on that particular course that is scheduled at that time? Don't put this off. Even though it's hard to be motivated, don't wait until the end of the semester to approach this content, or it's going to be too late. There's not a lot of time left, and if you push it off and delay it, you're going to get caught without enough time to complete it. Set up notifications in eCentennial. Tell eCentennial how you would like to be notified, whether it's via text, via email, whenever your teachers post something new. You can customize that to ensure that you are receiving real-time messages from your teachers without having to log into eCentennial all the time. Lastly, participate online. Your online class modules will have activities to do. They will have Padlets, discussion boards, Flipgrids, other online tools to keep you engaged and to help you learn the course content. It's not enough to review the course content. Participating in it is going to be what helps you to remember that course content and retain it, so that when our test arrives in a few weeks, you'll actually remember what you learned and what you looked at. Okay, how do you find me? Of course, you know my email address. You can email me anytime. At the top of our eCentennial newsfeed, you may notice that I've embedded a question and answer Padlet. That's basically just an online discussion forum. Again, that's easy to access, easy to participate in. If you have any questions about the course content, about the semester, about anything, post it there. I review it every day and I will get back to you. Just keep in mind, it's not private. It's meant to be a public forum so that everybody can see the questions and the answers. If you'd like to book an appointment, send me an email. I'd be happy to schedule a phone call or a video conference. If you want to review something, if you're not getting some of the content that's online, or if you have any other concerns, we can definitely schedule a one-on-one. And as I mentioned, I will be online for 1 hour of our scheduled course time during the week. So for section 4, that's Mondays, I won't be there at 8:30, but I don't think you will be either. But I will be live on eCentennial Mondays between 10 and 11. And for section 2, Tuesdays between 2 and 3. And again, I'll send out the link to everybody so that if you do want to meet with me, you can just click the link and it will take you live to our eCentennial virtual classroom. Lastly, I need you to keep something in mind. This is obviously a very, very stressful time right now. And it is totally normal to be overwhelmed, anxious, upset, lonely, just to name a few. Please remember that you are not alone in feeling this way, and we all do too. So hang in there. And don't forget that the college has a lot of free resources that can assist you. You can ask your success advisor whether it's something to do with finances, your own mental health and well-being, immigration issues, work permit, study permit, health, family, all these things that are kind of coming together right now to create one big stressful situation. Your success advisor can direct you, and if you would prefer, you can ask me and I can either assist or put you in touch with someone who can. So please don't be afraid to reach out and don't be afraid to ask questions. Lots of people might not have the answers. Your teachers might not have the answers. Your success advisors might not even have the answers. But we will help you to find the answer and we'll try our hardest to assist you. And let's try to be patient with ourselves, forgiving, kind, with ourselves and with each other. I will do everything I can to help you be successful. I will be as flexible as I can, and we will work through the next few weeks together. And this is a semester that none of us will ever forget. So I'm going to pause the video there, and in a few minutes I will take you into the course shell to take a look around at some of our new content. Stay tuned.